late. I'm really boring.
Oh, we're live. Hey, we're talking to each other. We're live.
Again, we're surprised.
Right. Like I said, like I say every week, every single one is like, hi. Oh, we didn't know. Even though
We're on.
Well, the other one did that nice countdown. It's like, here you're like, is it 10 seconds?
3, 2, 1, go. And now it's just like, here, you're online, and let's make the worst possible face that we can capture for the beginning of the video. That's like, the shot. It's like the money shot.
Right. And because it's live, we're not like gonna be able to.
We can't restart it. We can't wait and pose.
Right.
Well, that's our whole thing. Like, we keep it real every week, and I think that that's what we love. So we're completely flying off the fucking cuff tonight.
Yeah.
We have no set. Well, I mean, like, we're really, and we should warn you all, we're fucking like manic tonight, boy.
Yeah.
We're a little bit all over the place. I'm already lighting a cigarette.
It's been a day.
Why do I have a crack lighter right now?
I don't know, Paige. Do you have something
I don't know what the hell is happening right now. I don't smoke crack, so I don't know what just happened. I just lit it for the first time. I bought like a 7-pack of lighters for $2 at Walmart. That's why, because you don't get to keep your, nose hair or eyelashes or eyebrows. So
yeah, like, this is the special $2 singe your eyebrows off special.
Thanks, Walmart.
Right.
So anyway, what are you drinking tonight? First, what are you drinking? I'm drinking, you go first because I have to give you a preview. I have to tell you why I'm drinking what I'm drinking. I have to behave. Anyway, what are you drinking?
I have my Ghetto on. I have my Snoop Dogg on. I'm drinking gin and juice.
I love it.
I sat there and I looked at my bar and was like, what do we need today? Because today's been a day, and I had this big old bottle of gin and no effing olives.
Oh,
apparently when we were shopping for the friggin' hurricane, they must have run out of olives because I did order them for my grocery pickup. And
that's hysterical. They ran out of olives. That was people's priority. Listen, I understand that priority. I'm not going to lie. I get that as a priority.
Well, exactly. This is why I needed them, was because I used them all in my martinis.
So everybody else had the same idea that you did.
Exactly.
I get that.
Exactly.
So I'm not supposed to be drinking at all, which is why I said for you to go first. What kind of juice is that, girlfriend? Is that cranberry?
Cranberry, yeah.
Okay, because it looks like you're drinking straight up grenadine right now. I just want to say.
No. It's cranberry juice. So I'm like elevated hood, okay. I want to be a diuretic.
Right now. Yeah. It's not like Kool-Aid. It looks like it might be Kool-Aid. Speaking of Kool-Aid and people drinking it. No, I'm just kidding. Trump supporters just, no, we're not going there yet. We will get there. I'm not supposed to be drinking anything. I'm drinking Coors Light right now because I have a photo shoot tomorrow that kind of came to me on the fly. I know it doesn't look like it right now because I look like who did it and ran. I look like I got run over by a bus because I just washed my hair. It has to dry so I can flat iron it when we get off air. But I have a photo shoot tomorrow. Long Night Photo, who I've worked with for a gabillion years, for so long. He gave me my confidence back, when I first went through my horrible breakup and I was not in a good place. And I did pictures that I didn't think I would ever do. Definitely can't ever run for public office, which you and I just privately discussed, because I'm half naked on the internet and I'm not ashamed or embarrassed of it at all. But I don't think that would be a good ad campaign, is me in my underwear covering my boobs. But yeah, tomorrow I have a photo. Listen, Melania Trump is naked on the internet and I don't judge her for that. Exactly. I don't judge her for that at all. That's not why I'm judging her. She fucked Donald Trump. I mean, I'm judging her for that. But I'm not judging her for being naked on the internet. I just don't think that a sitting first lady might want to have naked pictures of her that could surface. I don't know. Call me old school. This is coming from a liberal too. You got pissed off about seeing Michelle Obama's arms in a sleeveless dress, but it's no problem to have her standing next to a plane naked.
Right. Yeah.
Someone explain that to me. But yeah, so long night photo, I have a photo shoot tomorrow, and I do like, I've done implied nudes before, but never like this. And I was like, I'm gonna fast. I'm going to be skinny for this photo shoot in 5 days. See a flaw in my plan there, guys?
Again.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a flaw in my plan. But like today, I just didn't have the time to like be conscious about what I was eating or drinking because I've been on the run since I woke up, and now I'm drinking Coors Light right now because I had it in my refrigerator and I just didn't have time to like not drink that. So I'm gonna have one so I don't wake up tomorrow with a big fat beer belly and go be half naked in front of the camera. But anyway, big huge shout out to Long Night Photo. Go follow them; they're pretty amazing.
Awesome. He really is awesome. He's always been awesome. He's like, in addition to being, I mean, I love his photos because he always manages, like you can see the confidence in the eyes of the models because he just knows how to capture them.
And he makes you so comfortable.
Yeah. And he's also always been such a great friend and a supportive friend. Like whenever we ever did anything, he always showed up to support us. And like he's just
right, like listen, right down from like, so he used to play the shows that I used to run, but he would show up for shows that weren't his. He would show up to all of our craft fairs with his mom and his now fiance. And like it's just so listen, you have to be comfortable when you're half naked, especially with a photographer. You have to be. So even before I gave modeling a shot, I used to use him to do all of our like promo flyers when I would run shows and stuff like that. And he always made me feel comfortable. And like all of the best pictures I've ever taken were with him. They really are. And he knows like, and not only that, he's super professional and like his equipment now is phenomenal, but he also doesn't make you feel weird. You're just very comfortable taking pictures. But I'm doing something a little bit out of my comfort zone tomorrow. I'm going to be cleverly, I know. I'm going to be cleverly hidden behind things. Yeah.
I love that. I'm glad you're doing that.
I'm doing it. It's like, I need something that's going to make me feel good. And I know when I do this tomorrow, I'm going to feel good. I just didn't have time. Normally before I do a shoot, I fast for 2 days before I do it.
Yeah.
Just to get all the salt out of my body. Like, listen, my body is what it is, but just so I don't have like a gut or whatever. And this time I didn't have time to do it because I was like so ill prepared. I usually mentally prepare myself. Like when you fast, you have to mentally prepare yourself. Fasting also for me is not like not eating. It's just like lean proteins and only vegetables, no fat, no dairy, no cheese, drink your coffee black. I wasn't mentally prepared to do that this time. So I tried to watch for the last couple days. I'm doing my best, but I failed a little bit with the beer.
Like it's all good. I mean, it's probably a good thing to talk about that whole thing, that body image thing that we all still have, you know,
so that's
it's hard.
It's really hard. And I've had like somewhat of an eating disorder for the majority of my life. And it's like hard to talk about, but it's not because I know that I have it. Like you know how I am. Like I don't eat in front of certain people because I feel uncomfortable doing it, which I know is like weird. And I know that is definitely a form of an eating disorder. Like you shouldn't be embarrassed about eating. I could be 90 pounds or I could be 120 pounds. I am very short, everybody, just so you know. So like I could be like, you know, like my body average is supposed to be between 113 and 118. Mm-hmm. Right now I'm 125. I'm heavier than I'm supposed to be, but I don't feel like gross about it anymore. I used to be very self-conscious about it, and I don't feel that way anymore. But with that said, I do watch what I eat, and I do have to have, when you have like lack of control in your life and you have to have a certain control over what you're putting in your body, just so you feel like you have control of something, that is a little bit of an eating disorder, or not a little bit, like it is an eating disorder. I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to talk about it. It is what it is. Like I have self-esteem issues, but like doing stuff like this, which puts me out of my comfort zone, actually helps with that.
Absolutely. So, you get to look, and like we are our worst critics. So we see pictures of ourselves and we immediately go to flaws, but like once we reframe the way that it looks and like be able to really see like look how happy I am or look how like confident I am. That's gorgeous. Even though I feel like my ass looks a little flabby there. Like I'm not.
Yeah, like all of the pictures that Chris has ever taken of me where like I normally would be freaking out about it, I see them and I'm like, oh my gosh, like look. Like, see, he made me comfortable and it's confidence. So tomorrow I'm going way outside of my comfort zone. Like I said, I'm going to be cleverly hidden behind props, but you're going to see my tiger stripes. He doesn't Photoshop things. He adjusts lighting and stuff like that, but things aren't like Photoshop. So the imperfections that are on my body are going to be seen. And I'm not scared. Listen, that's part of the best thing. Like, you know, everybody wants to take pictures behind filters and everything. Like, look, now, like a couple of years ago, I wouldn't be able to go live now. You know how I am. I don't leave my house without makeup. I am like super anal retentive. I'm here, like my natural hair, it's all curly and messy. I don't have blush on. I don't like, you know, I didn't get fancy. And that's a big step in the right direction for me because I don't care. If you're here for what I look like and not the content that we're discussing, then get the fuck off.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to criticize me for taking naked pictures, I really don't care. Like, there's nothing that you can say about me that I'm not going to tell you. You know, that's just how it is. So,
right. And you're kind of an asshole if you have something to say about somebody's natural look.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like, you're going to say something about what we look like and not the content of our character or what we're discussing. That's not right. It's not right.
Well, actually, like I've been noticing that Kristen Bell has been doing a lot of Instagram stuff without makeup on. And I'm just looking at her like, I fucking love you, dude. Like
I love her.
You give zero fucks. You're like, yeah, man, I look hot on my TV shows, but I'm beautiful also now and I have something to say. What I have to say is more important than my face. Like
and she's such a good person. Like, how could you not like her? She's such a good person. Like, aside from how funny she's hilarious. I think she's fucking hysterical.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Their house must be like a house of fucking joy.
I know. Well, they've also discussed though too, like it's not like Dax Shepard has like struggled with like, you know, substance abuse issues and they openly talk about it. So they talk about how it's not joy all the time, but it's probably joy most of the time because they address what's actually going on.
Exactly. Like they're able to not like let their demons, I guess, kind of control them, which is like where I want to be at. Like I want to always be at that place. I don't like to be around people who are like are hiding stuff or want to be fake or want me to be fake or, you know, like
that's not us. That's never going to be us. That's just not how we are as people. Like we're real all of the time. Like when we have money issues, we talk about it. When we have boy issues or sometimes girl issues, like whatever, like for me anyway, not for you, but like we talk about all of the uncomfortable things. Like we don't shy away from that.
Right.
So,
you know what? I'm going to say this because I feel like recently I've like rediscovered myself again. Like, and it was definitely, you know, this, you come out of a shit relationship and you're kind of like swimming against the tide for a little while because you're like, holy shit, who am I now? Because now I have trauma. Now I have this, like, who am I going to become? And it's like recently I've just been kind of like, you give me whatever you want, but you need to be yourself and you need to find that person again. And that person does exactly what you said. Like, hey, we're not being nice here if you're not being nice to me. And if you don't like it, I'm not sorry because I'm not coming at you mean. I'm coming at you real. If you can't know my real, then what are we doing here? Like why are we even in this conversation if you don't want my real?
I think that the best thing that anybody can do is be themselves to eliminate the people that can't handle you when you're telling the truth about something and when you're being real about something. Like, it's bad thing to be negative all the time, but if I'm your friend and I can't come to you with something that is negatively impacting my life to get it off my chest, then you don't fucking belong in my life. Yeah. Like, and that's how it is. Like, if I can't say real things around you about what's going on that sometimes might be negative, I don't want to feel a sense of paranoia about that. Like, bad things happen sometimes. Sometimes I cause those bad things and you can turn around and say that to me and I already know it. but
Right.
at least I own it. At least like I'm not like completely not self-aware. Like, yeah, I know I fucking caused this problem. It doesn't make it suck any less, but here's
Right.
what's going on.
Right. Like
So
the feelings
it
are still real and I still need a little, vent time or whatever.
right. Like, I mean, like, listen, like, we're not always going to be perfect. And if you don't want me when I'm down, then you don't get to have me when you're up. And I know you're the same way.
Right.
Like, we're human beings. Yeah. We react sometimes. Yeah. Like, I know for you, it's got to be especially be hard because you are like a counselor. And like, so you're supposed to be like this, like, people have an image of you of being put together all of the time. Nobody is together all of the time. Not one person. Nope. No. Nope. And it's unfair to you. I feel like that's unfair. Like that's an unfair image. You shouldn't have
kind of where I've been at, I think, like, and probably why for such a long time I felt like hiding everything because I was like, I'm supposed to be put together. No. I'm going to damage my professional reputation if people know how messy my life got and how hard it is to put it back together. And it was like, it took me to be like, no, it's the exact fucking opposite. People need to see that it doesn't matter. Like, it's not about repelling everything bad because it's impossible. Other people exist in the world. It's about what I do with it and watching me go through the process of I'm hurt, I'm figuring it out, and now I'm climbing back is like way more powerful than pretending that everything's cool and I'm so perfect and you're not because you can't handle it. Like, no,
that's like a bad thing. Like that's a bad thing for anybody to think. Like, I don't think that you should tell your clients your problems, but if they see something of you where you discuss your problems, that makes you human. It's a good thing. Like, who the hell wants listen, if I ever went to a therapist and they pretended to be perfect, I'd be like, this fucking person is clueless and I don't want them telling me how to live my life because they can't possibly understand it.
Right.
So I think if anything makes you more likable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I do. About that. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh man, my clients might find me online and like there's all kinds of everything online, but I'm like, you know what? I don't want to work with somebody who doesn't want to work with me either. So there's that too. Like I only want to draw in the people that I can help. I don't want to draw in the people that are going to be distracted by who I am.
Or also, you don't want to draw in people that are so completely damaged that you can't relate. I mean, like, your job is to relate to people that are really damaged.
I mean, other than men.
Like, I just feel like, it's probably like you don't want to draw in the complete, you don't want to draw in the sex offender. And so, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, the other damage, apparently the magnet for the other damage. So there.
Christ. By the way, so in between cigarettes, I'm smoking this. It's not weed. I just want to announce that I'm not smoking weed. I finally found one of these vape pens that I'm super against them because we don't know what the hell it's going to do to us. At least I know I'm going to die from smoking cigarettes at some point in my life. But I know it's going to be probably, hopefully, in the distant future. This, we don't really know what it does. But I've been smoking so many cigarettes lately that I needed something in between. Because if I don't, I'm going to literally, we discussed this last week, I'm going to be the chick from Beetlejuice. I'm going to be in purgatory as a secretary somewhere. Still smoking. Blue as fuck. So here we have it. It's mango ice.
Oh, how fancy. How couture.
The ice is menthol, by the way. I was like, does that mean it's menthol? And my friend Nicole is like, yeah, duh.
Right, well, I don't know. I mean,
I smoke shit that looks like what it is. It is death in a box.
Word up.
Anyway, so I'm gonna drop the bomb on you now. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready for the bomb dropping.
All right, wait. Let's see if he's texted me. All right, he says he's listening to us. So remember last week we were on and Joe was there. He's my Trump supporting friend with a heart of gold. He's one of the only Trump supporters that I can deal with. And he is, however, one of the only Trump supporters I know that really defends Trump's actions all the time. And for the first time last week, he said to me that one of the things he said was probably in poor taste. And I was like, it was about
Probably.
Ghislaine. Yeah. It was like when he wished Epstein's girlfriend the best. And he was like,
Yeah.
that was probably not a good idea. So
Yeah.
next week, my idea is I would really like to have Joe on so we don't get accused of having a liberal agenda all the time. We're going to invite like cute Bill O'Reilly on the air for like 20 minutes, just for like 20 minutes of the show. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to play good idea, bad idea. So we're going to read Trump quotes to him, and he's got to say whether he thinks, and he's got to honestly answer if he's going to do it. He hasn't confirmed whether or not he's going to do it. He might run for office one day, so he has not confirmed whether or not he's going to do it. But we're going to play good idea, bad idea. And I want to see what he defends and what he does not defend. And then we can't ever be, this is kind of funny, no?
I'm okay. Kind of. I have this piece of hair fucking piss me off.
I know you're going to hate me. That's why I was like, I'm going to drop the ball.
No, I don't hate you. I'm a little bit like, all right, listen, there has to be fucking rules.
There's
because
rules.
I am not.
There's definitely rules. We're not going on tangents.
This is what we're doing. And I like that idea because
that's what we're doing. We're not going to have a TED talk about Donald Trump.
Good. Because I will just sit here and pout like a baby because that's where I'm at.
We're not going to do that. No.
What I want to do is also come up with fake quotes and see if he can tell the damn difference.
Oh, we can play that too. We're going to play two games. I love that. I'll look that up and we'll use but this good idea, bad idea, I'm not using like something I find on Google. I'm going to use some of and I can't prepare him. This is off the cuff.
Yeah. We're
going to do good idea, bad idea, and then we should ask him to tell the difference between real and fake. He is actually very educated. He watches, so apparently Donald Trump was on live TV about an hour before we went on.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're not watching it? And I was like, no, I canceled my cable. As soon as Game of Thrones went off air, I canceled the cable and went to streaming everything. I can't believe I was paying $200 a month to watch the shittiest season of television in American history.
Right.
But I did cancel. I was very angry after. And I was like, I don't need to pay $200 a month for anything, especially shitty cable. So I stream everything now. So I didn't watch what Donald Trump said, although I have a feeling it might make it onto next week's good idea or bad idea when I watch the YouTube video after we're done taping tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw him like on Facebook. It was like, oh, he'll be live or whatever. And I was like, I'm watching hockey. I don't have time to get pissed off.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I feel like I do have to not watch it live too, because I spend half of the time having to pause the video of him while I scream at my phone or computer screen. I like have to pause. Like I turn into The Exorcist and then resume playing. It's either like me screaming or me laughing at the utter stupidity of the whole thing.
Yeah, see, I don't laugh because I get so sad because I'm just like, there's children that are in the 6th grade that speak more eloquently than our president, and it makes me very sad. Like, I just want it to make sense. I don't want to sit there and, again, like, make it seem like somebody is reading a book report in 4th grade using, the same words.
Xander just completed 4th grade, and I would like to say that my son is far more eloquently spoken than our president. And that is a scary... He is very smart for his age, but like when your 10-year-old is more eloquently spoken than your president, that is a scary, scary thing for people. Like, and it's not like, to me, like, it's not, first of all, he claimed to be a Democrat. So like, I don't want to own that anymore. I'm glad you switched parties and all, because I don't want to own that shit. But he's not a Republican or a Democrat. He's a narcissist. And that's just... That's what it is to me. Like, he's not for the American people. He's not a real president, in my opinion. Anybody who thinks it's a good idea for a businessman to run a country, how's that working out for y'all? Like, I
It's
don't
working out
know.
great for big business. If you own a big business, you're like, hell yeah, this is great. For all the rest of us, it's like,
So for the 1%, it's working out for people. That's why
Yeah.
I don't get like anybody still standing by him that I associate with, because I don't associate with the 1%. So
right. Right.
and
Like
my
we
friends are all
are
over the
getting beaten
place.
down. Right now, we are the regular people, we are getting beaten down. We are
Mhm.
begging. We are begging for a one stimulus check that is 1/3 of the check that they get every week for sitting around and fucking around. Like they sit in a big group and do nothing and they get
I
paid
just
3 times as much as they want to give us one time, and we think that's okay. Like it's not okay,
well,
dude. It's not okay.
I don't get, like, there was somebody that defended, I don't even remember who it was, but there was somebody who defended not giving unemployment the extra $600 a week. Might have been Joe, to be honest. I don't remember. But somebody was like, well, that makes it easy for people to like say, well, I'm making more on unemployment, so I'm not going to go back to work. Here's the thing. I get that people were taking that extra $600 that maybe make a little bit more money, with the unemployment than they do in real life, and they're taking it and they're blowing it mindlessly. That's not what it was for. The intended purpose of that extra $600 was as an emergency fund. You take what you don't need for your bills if you have the money. Like if you are one of those people that have the money, you take what you do not need for those bills, you stash it away. I'm not talking about the people that are going and buying new Apple Watches and spending money like frivolous.
But I have something to say about that. Yes, they did that for that purpose because it stimulates the economy. All of the people who are blowing that money on big business are stimulating the economy. They knew exactly what they were doing when they did that. But second of all, like, and I had this, and it wasn't a fight. I just kind of put it on somebody's post. I was like, have you actually talked to somebody who is taking that unemployment money? They have to pay taxes out of it either now or at the end of the year. So if you have it taken out right now, you're still getting paid exactly what you were probably getting paid. And if it's more, you are being grossly underpaid. And we're supposed to be okay with that. Like
listen, I got what you're saying.
Right now, we're just saying have a livable wage right now. That's not cool. What?
Listen, here's the whole thing. Like, I am not about spending that money frivolously, even to stimulate the economy. I'm not about that because I do feel like there was a point where that does have to end. The problem is that time is not right now. It's not right now. So I don't even care if you're spending it frivolously or if you're not. It should be there. People deserve that. They deserve it. This is why we pay into unemployment.
Especially all of these parents who right now are deciding whether to send their children to fucking school or homeschool them. And if they're homeschooling them, that means a lot of those parents cannot go back to work. That's just it. I'm not sending, my kid got sick already. She's not school age enough. So thankfully I don't have to worry about that because she's still young.
Right.
Dude, I wouldn't want to send her back.
You wouldn't do it anyway.
Holy shit.
Listen, I'm not blessed for being on disability. I'm going to say this right now, but I am on disability. Xander's dad is on unemployment right now. He paid into that his whole life. He's always freaking worked. Okay, so that's what it's there for. He is high risk. He cannot go back to work right now because if he gets sick, he's not going to be one of the people that are going to fare well. Whether it causes more permanent damage than he already has to his lungs and his heart, or whether he dies. Like, it's not good for him to get sick. So we both have to stay home. We really don't have a choice in the matter. So I get that I'm speaking from a place of so-called privilege. It's not privilege to be disabled, by the way, but I can homeschool my son, and so can his dad. We're going to split the time evenly. We had a choice. We could send him back to school, or we could homeschool him again. I'm sorry, we're homeschooling him again. And I get that. I do get that.
Dude, because he had to quarantine from school because somebody had it, right? And that means he could bring it home to his father.
Right. And we've also, the myth has been debunked that kids can get it. Kids can absolutely get it. Your daughter had it. And I know that she had it. 100%. You were texting me
more than anything, they can get it, but they can spread it.
Bring it home.
like a problem.
If they can't get it, they're going to bring it home and carry it to you.
Just like every other goddamn thing that they pick up at school.
Listen, Xander gave me lice one time. Like, do you see all of this hair? This is shorter than it was, too. It was down to my waist, and Xander gave me fucking head lice, okay? If I didn't have chicken pox, they would have brought that home. I mean, like, I've hand, foot, and mouth virus. Thank God I didn't fucking get that. All 3 of my kids have had that. Thank God I didn't get that. I was so anal retentive about it that I didn't. But, like, you know, like, I didn't know Xander had lice, and I'm snuggling him. This was, like, kindergarten, by the way. Welcome to school. I know. Welcome to school. Here's some fucking head lice. And I was dating somebody who had dreads down to their waist, and he was like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna have to shave my head. Thank God he didn't fucking get it. Like, he would have had to shave his whole head. Like, I mean, it was bad. So if you think that they're not gonna bring that shit home to you, you're fucking crazy. They bring home everything. They bring home everything. You're getting it. You're getting it. Like, it's like not even a question. There was a girl. So we do always have stuff to talk about because our country's fucking crazy. But there was a girl from Georgia. I don't know if you saw this. The girl from Georgia that posted a picture of her high school and nobody wearing masks because it's a personal choice. Get the fuck out of here, personal choice. But she's in high school. She's, I think, a sophomore in high school, and she took a picture, and it was the back of everybody's heads. So she wasn't showing, like, it wasn't like they tried to make it out to be. She was showing the back of people's heads and how crowded the hallway was, and nobody has masks behind their ears. Like, no, she was wearing a mask, but she got suspended for posting that picture. But she wanted to let people know they, by the way, took back her suspension. They said, no, she's not going to be suspended. It's not going to, because every news outlet was like, really? They were trying to make it like she broke rules. Like, you showed people on the internet that you can't show minors and post them without their permission.
Okay, have you seen Instagram? Do you think there's permission on every 16-year-old's fucking Instagram for every person?
That is the biggest bullshit excuse that you can think of. She's not supposed to be using her phone. Then they found out she took the picture and posted the picture after school hours, so they couldn't nab her for that either. Okay, she took the picture and then she posted it after school. So they really, they backed themselves into a corner. And now the school district is saying, well, maybe there are some changes that need to be made. If you're not requiring people to wear masks, then a huge change needs to be made, starting from the top. You want to open schools? Everybody needs to wear a mask.
High schoolers to wear a mask? You think you're going to get 7-year-olds to wear a fucking mask? Like, are you kidding me?
My favorite recent meme. Listen, my favorite recent meme, it was like, it's like a tweet that was turned into a meme. And it was like, you send your child to school with a Paw Patrol mask and they come home with a Spider-Man mask. Next week, the school is shut down.
Right.
Well, that's what's going to fucking happen.
Right. Or like, there's the one that's like, have you met a kid? Because they're gonna like lick each other and be like, Corona, because that's what kids do. They don't understand.
They don't understand. I mean, some of them do, but most of them don't. They don't have a sense of repercussion. Like there's like in there, they don't understand. Like, explain to a 5-year-old that somebody passed and they are not coming back.
Right.
And
they may like understand a little bit, but they're still forming the idea that they have an impact on the world because they don't. Right now, their whole lives are controlled by somebody else. So they don't know they have an impact.
And they also are controlled by selfishness because children are selfish. They don't understand the concept of their actions affecting somebody else's being. So you can't expect them to fucking understand why it's a bad idea to trade masks or lick each other or not give each other hugs.
So are you going to have extra staff in the bathroom to make sure they're washing their hands? Like, it's not a good idea. And I'm not like, the problem is though.
I get the dilemma that parents are having. It's just bad.
Exactly. Like there's so many people that are just going to have to do it because again, if unemployment is ending or, it gets knocked down to a thing that's not a livable wage, people are just going to have to do that and risk their fucking lives and risk their kids' lives. And that's just how it's going to be because it's very apparent that in our country, we don't care about our people. We care about our economy way more than we care about our people. And that
it amazes me, like the defense too with Trump supporters about like the stock market. Like, oh, Trump is going to boost the stock market. Less than 2% of people in our country actually utilize the stock market. So what the fuck do you give a shit about the stock market? That only is good for people in big business. Like nobody else is participating in that. So why is that a plus?
Like you are not benefiting from it. Like I am not benefiting from the stock market at all.
No. The average Joe is not fucking benefiting. I just said Joe. that should be convenient next week if he decides to join us. But like, like the average person is not going to benefit off of that. So like, cut your shit. Like, I don't want to hear about it. I don't
it's coming down to like anything. And I actually put a video on my my counselor Instagram today about just the things like the catchphrases that people are used to hearing and just the programming that we have that like we just run around running with it instead of really taking the time to think about what it fucking means
and how I saw what you were talking about too regarding that.
Like the stock market, we've become programmed to believe that if the stock market is doing great,
doing well, and the American people are doing well. That is the biggest fucking lie that we grew up doing.
If big business collapses, then we're all going to be doomed. It's like,
no, we're not.
We're not.
Put money under the mattress like the fucking mob used to do. I don't know what the fuck to say anymore.
Yeah, like maybe we'll be doomed because we're not paying attention to our own and we're letting everything be controlled by somebody else. Because you know what? I would rather go to a mom and pop, but they're all gone because of big business. So you know what's going to happen if big business goes out? Mom and pop shows back up.
Well, and they're all, here's the thing too, a lot of them are gone or only online because they can't afford to keep up with the rents and the taxes that they're paying on everything. Like things are not designed for small businesses to succeed anymore. They're not. They haven't been for quite some time. I'm not going to even blame that on Trump. They have not been set up to succeed for a very, very, very long time. Like they just haven't been. Like, like you can't afford And I get the landlord's plate too, because their taxes are so fucking high on the buildings that they have. They don't have a choice but to charge the rent that they're having. They are also in a lot of ways, if you're not in Manhattan, like if you're in a small town, they are forced to have their rent raised to their tenants because their taxes are through the goddamn roof and they have to profit somehow. So it's not set up for the small guy to fucking succeed. It's just not. Like,
listen, the more I have these conversations and I keep doing it, I'm like, I need to find a lot of money, or maybe not a lot of money. Maybe I just need to find a boat and I need to go find an island that nobody else is fucking on, bring some shit so I can, grow some vegetables and just be there because I need the beach. Like I can't go in like middle America and have a commune because I need the beach. I've decided that. So it has to be an island. But I'm just so tired of that being the narrative. I am so tired of the narrative being everything that was just made up is now controlling us. Money was made up. Rent was made up. Taxes were made up. The appraisal of your house was made up so that they could charge you more taxes. All of this shit is imaginary. It's like a 5-year-old building their own Minecraft. Like it's all made up, and we just have to be a slave to it. And I like really can't stand it.
Listen, I've said this many times. I want to take you and my friend Nicole and my friend Tara and like all of my besties. I want to go and let's start a fucking commune, and not in a weird culty way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like not in a weird culty way.
Here's the problem. And this is my only problem with my plan. I'm not sure I want zero access to men.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, they have to pass our inspection before they come on our little island.
Right. But like, how do I work that in? Because I'm still not a great man picker. So I don't want to be on a stranded on an island with the kind of men I pick. Because I'm gonna have to like off them or something. Like it's not gonna go well.
Don't go by me because my track record is balls. My track record is fucking terrible. So we can't go by me.
Yeah, well, I see in this herein lies the problem is I'm a little bit like, I mean, right now I don't care. Right now I'll go on an island.
Eventually you need to get laid though. Listen, eventually you need to get laid. You don't even need to survive.
Right now, I don't even care about that because I'm just so over what's attached to those parts. I just can't. Right, I just cannot. And listen. However, one of my Facebook friends, she's so beautiful and she's so like she's always been out there and like kind of an inspiration to me to just be out there and be who you are. She, if it was possible, had worse taste in men than I, and because of that, her self-esteem. Yeah, I know. Like I was like, how is this fucking possible? Like I've never even been in that situation, and I have done some really dumb things, you know. Like, but anyways, somebody that's been in her life for like 16 years, like they magically were just kind of like confessed their feelings for each other. And they're like getting married, and they're like they've been like besties forever, you know, like and it's just that weird, awkward thing. And like the conversations that he's had with his friends that she's posted are like him saying to them, like, I can't believe this is happening. She's like my dream girl. I cannot believe she'd want me, kind of thing. And I've just been like, oh my God.
Stop making men nice right now. I don't even want to hear about it.
This is my problem. So then I'm watching this happen, coupled with I'm watching hockey and like,
yeah, I know.
It's playoff. They have hockey playoff beards. I'm just like, what? But I still have the wall. I'm like, I'm not there. I don't want to deal with it. I can't. I want my own space. I want my own life. I don't want that.
I'm so angry with like the male gender right now that I can't even begin to explain to you, like from real life things that I've seen and I'm experiencing, and like the lies that men tell, and they don't realize that you already know that they're lying.
I am not going to ask unless I know probably.
I'm not going to even look. Here's the whole thing. I'm not even going to confront you on that shit anymore because you've got to fucking know that I know.
Exactly.
It doesn't look like what my grandfather's favorite expression, one of his favorite expressions that is very underused in this day and age is, does it look like I just fell off the turnip truck?
Yeah.
I fucking know the game that you're running and I see it. And I'm not going to call you out on it until the next time you call me for a booty call. And then I cannot promise you that I'm not going to tell you.
Definitely promise you I'm going to say some shit.
Like, I'm definitely calling you out on that shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
That's kind of the message that I feel like I've been trying to portray to everybody. You know, again, like I'm not super into like the idea of a relationship, but I am like, I need to make things abundantly clear, obviously, because people don't get it. Like I have people stepping on my boundaries a lot of times because they know I'm not going to share what's in my DMs. They know I don't want the drama. They're not going to fucking do it. But guess what? Like, I'm also not going to take it.
That's
the thing where it's like,
I'll call you out on it personally, but like, yeah. So here's
if I think something's happening, I'm not going to ask you. The reason why I'm asking you is for you to have an opportunity to tell me
the truth.
It is not because I don't know.
So fucking hard.
You're a liar. That's why I want to. I need confirmation that you're a liar or a truth teller.
That's why you how many messages that I've sent that I already know what you're going to say, but I know that you're lying. And I'm giving you an opportunity. Like, here is your fucking window to tell me the truth. Like, I've given you a perfect opportunity for you to show me who you are. And for me to say at that point, if you're honest with me, I have so much more respect for you. When you lie to me,
probably.
I'm going to be annoyed, but I'm not going to never speak to you again kind of thing. Like, I've set you up so we don't have to be uncomfortable if we run into each other kind of thing. But don't fucking lie to me. And then inevitably the lie comes and it's like, well, now I can't even fucking, I don't even want to fucking talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I can't, you know, it's hard for me to come back from that. And again, like we'll bring my like therapist life in here. Is that, oh, I can't see who it is.
Mommy Dearest.
Oh, geez. Oh, we're going to put Pat in line. Are we going to put Pat in the log?
Calling me during my YouTube show. No more wire hangers. Yes, I have her programmed as Mommy Dearest. She's really not that bad, but
yeah, I mean, she's
a hot mess.
But she, but yeah, I don't know. I lost faith to begin with, you know, and I remember way back when I was an intern sitting with my first real supervisor, because my first supervisor was kind of out of it. But my first real supervisor, she was like, listen to me. She said, are you married? And I said, well, I'm technically married, but I'm separated, you know, and I don't want to be married again. She's like, okay. I just want to let you know it's going to be really hard for you to get married again. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're going to hear the worst of everything.
Everything that you've ever heard.
Everything. And she's like, and you know what? It's going to come out in your world too. You're going to be more like aware of what other people are doing, even when you're not in the therapy role. And she was right. She was
dead on target.
Everywhere I see it in my guy friends who I love otherwise. I'm like, you're so shady, dude. Like, why would I want to be in a relationship with a shady motherfucker like you?
Listen, all of my guy friends are who they are in front of me, and I appreciate it and I love it. I could be myself in front of them. So I love that. But just having so many guy friends, you know what the fuck men are up to. And I'm not going to listen. It's not mutually exclusive that your dick is associated with being a bad person. But I'm just telling you, like, a lot of times it really is you guys. Like, you.
True.
Like, I mean, me personally and you personally, I know, we're honest about who we are. All of my friends at this point, because this is what I've closed my circle in. I don't want to be friends with you if you're not honest about who you are.
Right.
Like, be honest. Like, I'm honest. So if you can't be that person, but my guy friends have not figured that hurdle out yet.
Yeah.
So I know what y'all are up to, and I don't want any fucking part of it.
Yeah. And I don't understand it because I'm just like, I mean, because I am the kind of person, and I know that you're not supposed to like expect you and other people, but I also feel like I've worked so hard to try to be a good person that I'm a little bit like, why doesn't everybody else want to be a good person? Why is everybody else like kind of not like, why are guys like kind of very like, oh, well, it's okay if nobody knows. And it's like, no, it's still not okay.
No, it's not okay. Listen, I don't think that it's fucking out of the ordinary for us to expect the morality that we have to be in somebody else. Like, don't be a bad person. Don't cheat. Or at least, like, hold on. If we're not even together, be fucking honest and let me make the decision.
Right.
But don't cheat. Don't be a racist piece of shit. Don't be a homophobic piece of shit. Like, I feel like at least show me who the fuck you are so I can make the decision on whether or not I'm not even talking about relationships. Like, whether or not I want to even let you stick your dick in me. Like, let me decide. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, show me who you are. There are some things I can deal with and some things I can't. A liar, homophobe, and racist are on the top 3 things that I cannot fucking deal with. So,
yeah, definitely. So, and that's the thing is that, like, I feel like when somebody's lying to me to try to get something out of me, I'm like, there's so many effing women in the world that are not dumb and are not going to give you the wrath, because I'm going to get, when I figure this shit out, you're going to get the wrath. You could go find somebody who's like way less concerned about it, and you can still get from that person what you can get from me. Like, why are you doing this to me, dude? Because it's not going to end well. It's not going to be okay. Like, it's really not going to be okay. And like, I have had this, I've had this discussion in every relationship that I've been in, because again, I have pretty shitty choosing, mostly because I didn't have like a list of must-haves. I just,
we have
somebody
that
I like, and I'm like, I guess this could maybe work. Like, I never really looked for it. I guess that's what it is. I've never looked for a relationship. They've always showed up, and I've been like, oh, I like this one. So, I mean, that's got to change. But like, so they show up, and it's like, I would always like literally just sit there and say, if there comes a time where you feel like you want to be with somebody else in any way, you can tell me, because I'm a strong woman, dude. I will not give you shit because you're being honest with me. I will say, I might cry, I might be upset, I might be wounded, but I'm going to be like, thank you for being honest with me, instead of being a snake. Don't be a snake, because then I'm going to end up hating you. I have boyfriends that I broke up with that we're still friends because we were honest with each other. That was way back when I was a child. But still, like...
Well, can I say this, though? There are a lot... I will say this in some men's defense. There are a lot of women that have the don't ask, don't tell mentality. Like, if you don't tell me that you're doing it and I can pretend to ignore it, then I'm going to accept it. There are a lot of women out there that are like that. So I think that men
assume... a lot of women say that they're like that too, and then they torture that man.
Also. Well, again, it's never a good idea. It's never a good idea. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but there are some women that put up with it to a degree. And I think that's very, very bad myth, that men think that you want us to lie. We don't want you. Like, a lot of women do not want you to lie. Like, I want the honesty of, I don't want to be with you anymore because this person is attracting me right now. Just fucking tell me. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. Here's the thing. I might even say, I don't care. Like, at this point in my life, I'm not looking for a relationship. Well, but I'm not looking... Here's the thing. I'm not looking for a relationship right now, but give me the fucking option. Give me the fucking option. Like, don't...
Well, and I think honestly, that comes down to self-respect too. I have a high amount of self-respect.
Good.
So if you are going to disrespect me by not letting me in on what's going on, I feel disrespected. I'm not going to look the other way, because looking the other way is me disrespecting myself and saying, you're not important enough. You're not important enough for people to tell you the truth. Oh, fuck no. I am that important, and I can walk and I can be alone and I can thrive without your ass. So
I don't need, I'm at the point in my life, I do not need a man even remotely. So please give me the option of whether or not I want to stay or go.
Yeah.
Not saying showing me who you are is a good idea all the time, because my decision might be, I don't want to fuck with you anymore. But thanks for at least showing me and giving me that opportunity. Because,
well, and again, and this is the thing, is that like, this is what bothers me, is that the acceptance of like, okay, well then I can't be with you. It's like, they don't want to accept that. It's still like, oh, but you're a challenge. So I'm gonna meet the challenge. I'm gonna complete the challenge. It's like, I'm not a fucking game, dude. I am not a video game that you need to conquer. Holy shit. Can you feel like a human being, please?
By the way, I am gonna have to put these on. I can't see. I can't stand that I have to I can't see the screen of my computer right now. It's so bad.
And I don't wear glasses. So I'm like, I don't even know what that looks like for you. Like, what are you seeing?
Very blurry, everything. So it's not something I'm a fan, and I'm not used to it. Oh man, I have okay. It's not something I'm used to, because I didn't wear glasses my whole life. And I did put up with for a really long time not seeing properly. Like when my eyes deteriorated about like 6 years ago, I put up with like being able to see shittily for a really long time. And now that I have them, I'm like, oh my God, how did you even function in life without being able to see correctly? Like, I swear I'm crazy right now. I feel like I look crazy without my glasses too.
It's funny because like I now am used to seeing you with your glasses.
And I look weird without them.
Long, yeah, like for so long I knew you were without glasses. It's so weird.
I it's just great. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, but now that I can see properly, I can't imagine not. And when I have them off, I'm like, ugh, can't see anything. So listen, we're set up to fail during coronavirus. I went to Walmart. I have to. I do my food shopping at a super Walmart because I go like every 2 to 3 weeks. I have to get ferret food a lot of times, and sometimes I do get so low I can't wait for like online delivery of the pet food. So I had to go get ferret food, and I had to go food shopping, and everybody was wearing masks, but half of them were wearing them over here. So now, the fuck are you wearing a mask for, dickhead? Like now, the most important part of this whole equation has been taken out.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I guess it's
like so absurd. Like, what the fuck? What is this going to do? So somebody can't spit in your mouth? Like, I mean, I'm not trying to make out with you in fucking Walmart. Put the thing over your nose.
Too. Like, yeah, like it's all connected. That's why the ear, nose, and throat person is all one person because it's
right. The ENT. It's right in the title. Right. Can't take it. I know. So we're in Walmart and like everybody's on top of one another. Everybody. There's no way to avoid it. And the employees, they at least have the masks on their face, but they're loading shit into the freezer next to you. What is the security guard out there for? Are they there for a mere like threatening presence? Because it's not working. It's not working. So I go to Walmart and everybody's fucking on top of each other. So naturally, I go with my friend Nicole, who has just bad anxiety as I do. And, 45 minutes into our trip, we get online and now we're there for another half hour. And now people decide to social distance, by the way, when you're online. You didn't follow any fucking suggestion that were rule. There's an actual rule in New Jersey. You must social distance. You must have the mask on. Everybody's walking around and they've got a big dick on their face that's, sneezing on everybody. But now we're going to follow the rules and we're online for another 45 minutes. And both of us are like, like having anxiety attacks. There was a pregnant lady that had the mask down that walked up directly behind me and I couldn't help. I literally looked at her like, what the fuck are you doing, lady? I'm wearing this.
Care about anybody, lady. Nobody. Yeah, not us. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm wearing this in part to protect your vulnerable ass, and you're walking around with the thing not on your face, and you're on top of me. Get away from me.
I don't understand. I can understand some of the other stuff, okay? So I can almost understand the people that are like, I should be able to go to a park. Like, okay, cool. Go to the fucking park. Wear a mask.
Wear a mask or socially distance till you're outside. Stay 6 feet away from everybody else.
Right.
If you can't do that,
I went to Koya on the beach.
Wow.
Right. We did the Koya class on the beach, and there's a couple pictures that we all took together, and they were literally like let's run in and take a picture together because we're all here, and then everybody kind of went back and did whatever because it's like, dude, it's not over because we're over it. It's not over because we're over it.
We're about to see a second surge. So in part, I have to say, this whole, for the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to live it up in a sense, but so responsible. But I've only brought myself around very few people. My friend Nicole is one of them. And I know she's been in the same situation. We've both been locked in our goddamn houses. So even her son is not with her. He's out of state right now. So we're we're together, but it's because we're not around anybody else. Like, it's still a responsible thing.
Exactly. I'm like, hey, where have you been? Because I don't want to be around you if you've been places. Like, if you've been nowhere, I can be around you. But if you've been places, you need to not be here.
Right. And he's so responsible and I'm so responsible that it's like, you know, and listen, her sister works in a hospital. Nobody has to tell her how serious this is. We both know. And we both have been like in hiding. But I've been trying to like at least go out and do what I can do now, because I'm telling you right now, give it a couple of weeks, we're going to be fucked. We're not going to be allowed to leave the house again except for essentials. I just know it's coming. I know it's coming. And
yeah, we're technically going through our first wave because we were fine until the opening the tourist season. I have a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we're actually gonna be okay once tourist season ends, because when I saw that last year, how dramatically different life was after the summer, like there was nobody around, and it was like, so I have a little bit of like, okay, cool. When everybody leaves, we might be able to get this shit under control until next year, but hopefully by next year.
The problem is you're going to probably get the mutation, is what I fear for you, is that you're going to get the mutation. Like, we're due for our second wave while you're still on your first wave, and you're going to get the mutation of the virus that, if you follow what happened with the Spanish flu in 1918, was way worse than the first wave of it. So I fear for you that you're going to get all of it at once. Like, you might not have a break. Right now, we're in a little bit of a break here.
Like, what I'm thinking is like, because it really is like a ghost town, like North Myrtle Beach, which is like where everybody's at, like actual Myrtle Beach, at September, like after Labor Day, it was like a freaking ghost town. Literally drove through, there was nobody there. So I'm like, okay, so here's what's going to happen. Probably, hopefully, we will, you know, our numbers will go down. Everything will be cool for a while, and we will have learned our lesson. And you're in the South.
I'm gonna tell you, I hate to be a bitch about this, but you're in the South.
I'm in a tourist area. They rely on tourism. It's not even just like a little bit.
That you're not, but the locals, just from what you've told me, like how like they didn't want to wear the masks even at first when you guys knew that this was coming. I don't think the tourists brought it to you necessarily. I mean, yes, they did bring it to you, but if you were being responsible about it to begin with, then this wouldn't have hit you the way that it's hitting you. You can't have the attitude of, it's not affecting me, so I'm going to do what I want, because now it's affecting you guys.
But here's the deal. That comes from up here, right? Okay, so we were totally fine. Like, we literally had in our entire state, like, what
I know. I remember.
I mean, super, super ridiculous low, and especially in this area. So what I feel like happened is that they were like, oh, it's not going to be a big deal. And then when it became a big deal, they started mandating masks and doing the stuff that they should have just done from the beginning. Because
you're mandated now, right?
It a lot. Yeah, everything's mandated now.
So I want to know then, why is Georgia so far behind? Why is Georgia so far behind? You're not very far from Georgia. Yeah, but you're like not. I get that, but there are major like tourist areas in Georgia. So like, why have they not mandated that when the kids go back to school, you must wear a mask when the South is surging right now? I don't understand. I have a lack of understanding of leadership. Well, I don't. I know what.
Understand the highway system. They still can't build highways that are effective. So the idea that they
don't think that women can make educated decisions about their own bodies. So I mean, I guess I should not.
Georgia is like a totally different entity from, you know, whatever else. Like I said here, I feel like it was a little bit of naive, you know, like a naive idea of like, oh well, people will be careful because, you know, they're coming from states where it was serious, and it was like, oh no, they're not. They're coming here and like freedom. No.
Right. Well, I remember when Colleen was with you and we did the show with Colleen that time, she was saying that she had the mask on in the supermarket and people were looking at her like she had a dick on her face. And it's like, really, assholes? Like, you should all be wearing this without being told. You should all be wearing this.
But that's the thing, is like, I feel like there was a false sense of security because when I was still going out to the stores, and I stopped doing that after Scarlett got sick, I stopped going to the stores. Everything was either deliver it to my house or I will go pick it up, but I'm not going inside the store. Like after that, not doing it. But prior to her getting sick, I was going into the store. We had our masks on. Some people didn't. A lot of people didn't, but our numbers were still low. So I feel like because
you were given a false sense of security. I got it.
Right. But we weren't like, maybe lack of people or lack of like people who were sick actually, you know, spreading it. There was definitely some dynamic that
you're not in an inner city. You're not on top of each other like I am here when I go to Walmart. And this is with people mandating. This is mandated that you're not supposed to walk around the store. People are doing it fucking anyway. And I'm like,
so here it was very, very different. Like there was that false sense of security of like, but we've been fine. We've been fine for months this way. And we were. And it wasn't even like they were making it up. We were. As soon as they opened up. And it literally, as soon as they opened up, shit exploded. And you know, that was the dumb mistake.
I'm telling you right now, we're going to have, we've only really flattened the curve. I mean, the numbers are down, but we were so high that you can't praise us for the numbers being down. They're down because the governor said, fuck you guys. You clearly can't control yourselves. So we're going to control it for you. So the numbers are down for that reason. And now I'm watching the bars are open. Everybody is on top of each other. Everybody has this false sense of security right now. We're about to get fucking slammed. And like I said, I'm not going to lie. I've been like going out and I've been trying to like just not be stuck in this house, but I'm being safe about it. And I'm only associating with like one or two people. There are people just fucking on top of each other at bars, hanging out, thinking this is over. This isn't over. We've got a long way to go. We don't have a vaccine. We've got a long way to go. We're in big trouble.
Exactly. And like, it's not about stopping living your life. It's about being smart and caring about other people. And that's the thing. It's like people are feeling like, oh, well, I mean, I'm pretty healthy. I'm going to be fine because they're not thinking about other people, you know? And that's like, for me, that was the biggest thing. At the beginning, I was like, well, okay, I'm a generally healthy person.
You are.
For the most part, when it comes to like getting illnesses. In terms of my own body, I have like some autoimmune stuff going on. Like but that was before we knew that was like that you were considered vulnerable. This is what like when this whole thing was coming up. But I was like, listen, I'm usually a carrier. I have like a history of not getting some of these really serious things. I'll probably be okay. I'm going to put my mask on because I'm not going to let somebody's grandma die because I can't wear a mask for 15 minutes in the goddamn store. How dumb is that? When a surgeon can wear a mask if he's pulling my baby out for fucking 4 hours. There are people that do it
for 24 hours. There are healthcare workers that literally do it for 24 plus hours. They have to wear the mask. If they can do it, we can do it. No, we're not trained to do it, but they weren't when they first started doing it either. Everybody needs to adapt. Like I said, an hour and a half in Walmart and the anxiety of everybody. I mean, the 45 minutes online, the anxiety of everybody having the mask lowered. I was starting to hyperventilate in my fucking mask. I still didn't take it off. Not for 1 second did I take it off. Because regardless of how high my anxiety was, you know what's going to be worse than a fucking panic attack? Me getting coronavirus. Like, and I definitely, I know that I had it in December. I know that I did. I've never been that sick in my entire fucking life. For 3 weeks, no antibiotic was working. The steroids weren't working. I've never been that sick for that consistent of amount of time. And somebody passed it along to me that I was hooking up with at the time. And I would not wish that. And I probably had a very mild form of it. I do not wish what is happening on my worst enemy. I don't wish that on anybody. I don't wish a flu on anybody. It sucks and it's horrible. So protect yourself.
Okay. So if you have the flu, do you go to the goddamn grocery store and breathe on everybody's shit? No, we've always been that way where if you're sick, don't spread it. We've always been that way. all of a sudden we're not that way. I don't understand.
Because people's constitutional rights are being stomped on.
But they're not being stomped on if you have the flu or if you have the chicken pox or if you have some other communicable disease, and they tell you if you have mono and they tell you to stay home. People don't go, I have constitutional rights, I'm gonna go give everybody mono. Like, never happened.
Like, here's a controversial take. There were thousands of lives lost in 9/11, right? And there was because of a terror attack, something that we couldn't control. It was something that happened that we couldn't control. So let's now talk about how 150,000 Americans are dead. You didn't give a fuck about the Constitution. You just wanted to kill every Muslim in your fucking path. Now all of a sudden you give a shit about the Constitution? Give me a fucking break, okay? Give me a fucking break. This is worse than any terror attack that we've ever seen. But you all reacted to that because it fit your agenda. Sorry, this doesn't fit your agenda. Sorry, you don't have a finger to point, but this is happening. Stay the fuck home if you can't wear a mask. If you can't follow simple rules, wear a mask, social distance, don't have parties with 100 fucking people at the, like, I don't understand how this stomps on the Constitution. I don't fucking get it. Stop.
Again, that programming that we have is absurd. It really is. When you get down to that programming that we have about like my rights, like we were all raised with that programmed inside of us.
Yeah, but most of us have
allow people to control you because it means that they're stepping on your rights and control, but they have no problem with going to a job where they micromanage your every goddamn minute of the day. That, my friends, is unconstitutional if we're going to get serious about being controlled. If we want to talk about the founding fathers, we want to talk about the Boston Tea Party and taxes. If you pay your taxes right now, you're bowing to the man. So how about you stop paying taxes because they're technically unconstitutional?
Right. I listen, there's so many things. Like, I mean, it's like really like because it doesn't like fit your fucking political. This is not a political fucking thing. Guess what? Everybody can die of this. Like, this is not a fucking political statement. This is like just do the right thing for the rest of humanity. And I don't get why they're.
And the people who are like, they don't know anything about the virus. I'm like, yeah. Do you know why? And like the amount of people that I've had to say this to, because. I get it. Not everybody has had to do a fucking research project, but I had to, and it was hell, and it was awful. So
who didn't have to do a research project?
But
everybody should have had to do one.
Yesterday, you like make this group of people, and you have to study everything about them because you have your little hypothesis. This is what this means. You have to know everything about that person because you need to know all of the other possible reasons besides what you think is going to happen.
Right.
And so I try to explain to people, I'm like, the more people that are added to this giant experiment, the harder it is for all of these scientists to gather the data and the data. They cannot. So they're making guesses because we are impatient as shit and we need an answer right away. So they're giving us whatever they have.
Those people to that fucking anser. Like, don't like,
and they're like, well, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm like, yeah, because you motherfuckers keep adding to their data instead of just sitting at home.
And they're also like, as things evolve, because we don't know jack shit about it, as things evolve, things are going to be added to the fucking data. Like, I mean, like, come on, let's like fucking use our brains here, people. Like, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, and I have not fight, and I try not to have a fight. Like, I don't want to fight, but I'm still just like, do you know how it works? You cannot prove a hypothesis until you have all the data and until it's repeatable. So you have to be able to say that this works for millions of people now because it's worldwide. So your hypothesis has to be proven more than one time for millions of people. Fucking impossible, dude.
Absolutely.
There's no way.
It's not gonna, like, I just feel like we're in a very bad cycle right now. it's going to take so long for a vaccine to come out. Like we've talked about this to the point where I feel like we're beating a dead horse, but I just don't get society right now. I don't get what's happening. I just don't get it. Like, I'm an only child. I should be as selfish as it fucking gets, but like, it's not just for me. Like, this is like wearing a mask is not just for me. For selfish reasons, I'm wearing it, but for unselfish reasons, like the pregnant lady without the fucking mask, I can't take it. Like,
you know why? I'm gonna say the thing. Because supposedly all lives matter. But not if I have to wear a fucking mask.
We're gonna go there for a minute. I can't believe we had nothing to go on.
Matter, then put your goddamn mask on.
The All Lives Matter people are like, listen, those are the same people that are trying to go to the abortion clinics and protest in front of abortion clinics, but then will bitch about their gun rights. So all lives matter until it comes down to defending your property from some imaginary person that has not stepped on your property yet. Give me a fucking break. The hypocrisy that comes with that fucking statement, I can't even take it, okay? Because let's be realistic, people that shout that the loudest are from the conservative group that are fighting outside of abortion clinics and then fighting at government buildings with AK-47s. The lives of themselves only matter. It's just they're hateful, horrible people. I don't care.
I mean, like, listen, I'm gonna say out loud, I absolutely believe all lives matter. I do. But I also understand.
We already know that. We're educated people. We don't have to say all lives matter. We're not saying like that
it
Black lives matter more.
Right. That doesn't mean that I can't focus on a person who needs help.
Seriously. We don't have to say it. Vanessa, stop saying it. We don't have to say it because we're educated people that know that, of course, all lives matter. Okay? Of course, that's a fucking dumb statement. We don't have to say it anymore. I'm sick of saying it.
These are the same people that, first of all, they'll say all lives matter, but they'll say blue lives matter, which I believe. Listen, I have a lot of cop friends that I love. Their lives do matter.
You're not a marginalized group. Hold on. You are not a marginalized group, and you chose that fucking career. But you have used your right.
Listen, okay? And yes, do I understand that? Of course. But I also understand from knowing these cops, there's a lot of stuff you don't know you signed up for until it comes up there. But so it doesn't mean me, I'm like I'm trying to highlight the hypocrisy of, if you can say blue lives matter, you can say black lives matter. You can say that because it's just another color. It's all just say another fucking color. It's totally fine. It doesn't mean that you don't care about white people. It doesn't mean that you don't care about other people.
They clearly care about white people. We know that.
Again, the same people that say blue lives matter and all lives matter will not put on their mask because they're like, hey, guess what? I don't actually think your life matters because I don't wear a cloth on my face.
I don't think your life matters. I've got a fucking AK in the back seat in case you piss me off. I don't think your life actually matters.
It's my programming to say shit like that, and I can't be mindful of you because there's a lot of people, again, like growing up in like that tiny town that I'm from, I see all those people and what they say. And I'm a little bit like, I get like disappointed because I'm like, I grew up there and they're not terrible people, but their programming is fucking awful.
They don't have
like to they are those people that all lives matter, but also don't want to wear a mask.
But they're still feeding into the agenda of what Fox News is feeding you. And you know there is another way of life. You are choosing.
I'm gonna tell you something about that small town. Most of those people don't even watch Fox News because they don't have cable. Because that's how small town it is.
The hate that was fed to them for generations and generations, and ignorant and
programming. They're just working on programming.
Done with that excuse, though. I'm like so done with that excuse. I know that you want.
I'm not giving them an excuse. I'm literally pointing out that they don't have an excuse because their hypocrisy is giants. giant.
I live in an inner city, and I can tell you that there are white people. There's only like, I think that like there's like 96% marginalized group, like between Hispanic, it's mostly a Hispanic community, but there's Hispanic, Muslim, and Black community where I live. I can tell you there's 4% that grew up here that have access to all of the things that media is feeding them, and they are hateful, ignorant, awful people. So that's why I'm done with the fucking excuse, because I know that you could be surrounded by diversity and still be a fucking complete bag of shit, or you could be like in a little bubble and you're a bag of shit. Either way, at this point, you're a bag of shit to me right now. So right. I'm sorry.
Again,
I'm over
it. Choice. It's a choice. And I definitely said that the other day to somebody where I was like, you know what? It used to be that like, we could have an excuse because there was no internet, and I grew up without the, you know, like our generation grew up most of our lives, or at least a big part of our lives, without the internet. So we literally, what happened in my little small town is all I knew, or whatever was on the microfiche, or whatever came out.
Listen, it's not an excuse now, and I'm over it.
But again, what I do for my profession is understanding programming and understanding the defense of your programming, because your programming becomes who you are. So everything feels like, but it is. This is literally how it is.
I do get what you're saying, but I also think you're a nicer person.
We're all the same way. We are in a good place. Even if we're in a good place, right? So if you attack me as a woman, my programming as a woman is going to bite back to you. And I may have to come back and circle back and say, you were right, but I defended it because that's my fucking programming, you know?
Yeah, that's a bad example, though. But that's a bad example.
It is. I would say it's a bad example if I didn't live that example. I lived that example from living in that bubble and then having to go to a place that was not the bubble and be like,
fair enough. Fair enough. Listen, I mean, for the most part, I grew up in a very diverse community. So maybe I'm speaking from a place of so-called privilege when I say this, but I just can't accept it anymore. I don't understand it. And I do think you're a better person than I am, too, because you give people the benefit of the doubt. You want to believe that there's inherent good in people when you know there's not. You know there's not, but you do want to believe that because you're a good person and you're a glass half full person.
Yeah. And especially again, growing up with some of these people that I see kind of like, I could still show up at their door, even though they've seen everything that I've posted. I could show up at their door at midnight. They're going to take me in. They're going to give me a hot meal. If I show up with a Black dude, a Muslim person, an LGBTQ, fucking anybody, they're going to take us.
Really?
And they're going to take care of us. I know. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. The problem is they don't understand. They don't understand what they're saying when they say those things. They don't understand because they don't have a person in their mind that they're saying that to.
Gotcha.
Right? So if I say all lives matter, I can put in my head all of those people that I would be fucking over that are in my life by saying that.
Yeah.
Right?
They can't do that. I got that. All right.
I can't. I have those people in my life that it's like, I can't do that to them. That would be so awful and so horrible. They don't have that shit. That's their life. They didn't go anywhere. They live in a small town. They don't quite get it. They don't get how ignorant they sound.
All right.
And fine. I mean, that's really me. That's really me seeing that from these people that I'm like, dude, I fucking know you. I've known you my whole life. What is, like, how can you do this? Like, how can you put yourself out there like that when I know that your heart is good, but whatever's going on
is not correct.
Stop.
Right.
Like,
there's a block. There's a block. Well, listen, this is why hopefully we're going to get a different opinion next week. Listen, you're a better person than I am. I think that it's a good idea. I do think it's a good idea. I promise it's not going to turn into like a fucking battle royale. I promise. But I do think it's a good idea to hear the perspective of somebody that's not us, but we're going to make a game out of it because we have to.
Well, yeah, because I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I am a little protective of the bubbles that I create. right? And so our bubble here, I'm a little
I
protective
know.
of it.
Well,
Just
but
like
that's why we're gonna do
I'm
it.
protective of all my little projects. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna come in here and
No, this
change
is a
what we
social.
do.
This is a
So this
social
man better
experiment.
understand.
Listen, this is a
I like
social
that.
experiment, and we have to, if we want to say that we're comfortable in our beliefs, we have to go out of our comfort zone sometimes. And I think that it could actually be hilarious. I do.
Oh,
By
it's
the way, you're
hilarious.
very right now. It's going to be funny. It's going to be funny. I promise we're not going to start a battle.
Yeah.
What?
Well, and again, like that's that mostly was my concern. It's like I don't want to get on here and be like,
We're not going to fight.
A round table discussion or whatever.
No,
like I want it to be fun if it's going to be fun. But
It's gonna be fun. That's what we're gonna make it. And our goal is to, like, I just want to say this. Our goal is to not have our guest, we're not going to turn him into a giant asshole either. Like, I don't want it to feel like he's being picked on. Like,
well, just let him know you can't be an asshole or else.
Why I think he's just considering it at this point, because he's like, I might run for office someday, and here I am with these two maniacs. So whatever. Anyway, we should probably sign off. By the way, you're very pixelated right now. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway, let's sign off now. We've gone an hour and 25 minutes for two people who didn't have anything to talk about. We love you guys. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we will see you next Friday, hopefully with a special guest that we will try not to pick on at all. Uh-oh.
He's like, I'm watching. Don't pick on me.
I think that's probably what's happening.
Oh, and here comes Vinny showing up. Like, oh man, where have you been this whole time?
Ding, 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 round five, go. Ella, where have you been? We're signing off now, Vinny. God damn it.
We'll see you next time, Vinny. All right.
Well, Vinny, hopefully you're here next week too. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you.